So today I wanted to run through some products that I'll be decluttering out of my makeup collection. Some of these range from things that I just didn't like the quality of, or maybe the shade was wrong for me. Some stuff my skin didn't take to very well. I'll explain that a little bit later. And then also some things that I find with my collection getting bigger and bigger, I just don't use it as much, and I want to pass it along so that it can get the love that it needs. That way it's not wasted and forgotten and just collecting dust. I hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and run through the products and we'll talk a little bit about them as we go through. So first off, I have the NYX Hydra Touch Oil Primer, and this is supposed to be a dupe for the Smashbox Oil Primer, and I really liked what this did under my foundation. I felt that it smoothed out my skin, gave great base like any good primer should, and I was so afraid that it would break me out, and it did. So that's why I stopped using it, and I guess I can use it here and there without having a problem with a breakout. It's just if I use it consistently, it'll give me pimples. So I just don't want to. That's it. I have so many other primers that I really enjoy and that I don't have to think so much about. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Next up, we have foundations, and I have a few here. They're from two different companies, but let's start with this one first. It is the Clinique Superbalanced makeup, and it's in the shade 32 Breeze. So that is here. I really actually enjoy this foundation. It's a light coverage, but I feel that it really looks natural on the skin, and some days that's exactly what I want. And with this one, it took me so long to figure out that it was just irritating my skin. If I wore it constantly, it would just make me break out along here on my cheeks, and it would just be itchy. It was horrible. I always just chopped it up to being my skincare or something new that I had used, maybe a body wash or a body spray. I always thought it was something else, but it turns out that it was this guy, and I'm really sad to have to let it go, but it's just not worth it. So next up, I also have some BareMinerals products, and again, just like with the Clinique foundation, these BareMineral products would do the same thing. They would give me rashes, and it was horrible, and I hated it. Especially with these BareMineral products, my eyes would just water constantly. It was horrible, and I always thought that, maybe it's just a seasonal allergy or something that I was using, because my skin is normally extremely sensitive, so I have to be careful with what I put on it. But anyway, so I narrowed it down, and I found out that these BareMineral products were the culprit of some of those days where I just had such irritated skin. So first off, I have the BareMinerals barePro Performance Wear Powder Foundation in the shade Fair 01. And I tried using this as a setting powder, and I thought it looked really good. I really liked it as a setting powder, but my skin didn't like it, so that's that. Next up is the BareMinerals Matte Foundation in the shade Fair. And this one is quite full, so I'm sad to see it go, but that's just the way it happens. And then lastly, I have the BareMinerals Concealer in the shade Summer Bisque. And this one is really full as well. It was too dark for my under eyes, but I used it to spot conceal when I would use the BareMinerals foundations. So sadly, all of that is going. But fortunately, my skin will be better because of it. So moving on, I have a bronzer from Pure, and this is the Mineral Glow Bronzing Powder. I tried really hard to like this one. There were days when I thought it wasn't orange, and then there were days where I'm just like, oh my god, you look like an Oompa Loompa. I don't know why I kept trying. I guess I was just stubborn. It was just too harsh for my fair skin. So I just stopped trying, and I'm gonna declutter it. I don't hate shimmery bronzers, but I feel like this one has really big bits of glitter in it. I'm okay with letting that one go. I'm not losing any sleep tonight, Next up, Pure Bronze and Brighten. And this we got in a boxy charm. So it's the Dreamer Bronze and Brighten Cheek Palette. Here it is here. And this was really pretty. However, the bronzer was too dark for me. And I loved the highlighter, but I thought to myself, why would you want to keep a trio and you just like one color? It just didn't make any sense. When people were reviewing this, I also saw online that they would use them as eyeshadows, but I have so many eyeshadows that I just wouldn't gravitate towards this one as an eyeshadow palette, and it would just take me forever to use it up that way. So I figured someone else, maybe with a deeper skin tone, would like it better than I would. But these colors are beautiful. They're really shiny. Like I said, I really love the highlighter, but it just doesn't make sense in my collection at this moment. So I'm going to go ahead and let that go. All right. So now moving on to some lip products. There are quite a lot in here, which makes me sad, but it takes forever to go through a lip product. So I kind of just get pickier and pickier as my collection grows, because you have to. Why would you wear a mediocre lip gloss lipstick if, you know, if you have so many others that are amazing? Why would you settle for less? I don't know. But so first, let me just try to run through these as quickly as possible. I have this Japonesque Lip Lacquer in the shade, I guess it's just 06. Really beautiful. I really like this one, but I just feel like it bleeds, and with a color this dark, ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm getting rid of that. And I'm not going to swatch these just for time's sake, because I'm sure you have something better to do with your life. So I also have this Estee Edit, which isn't even available any longer, Lip Flip Shade Transformer in 02 Turn Down. And so I've been holding on to this forever just because of the packaging. Don't judge me. But I got this in a Sephora Favorites kit, and I was super excited because the thought of it is really cool. It's a black lipstick, which seems scary, but it's supposed to be used as a transformer shade. And I mean, goodness, this packaging, it is amazing, and it's super heavy. This feels luxe. And I feel like when I put it on as a transformer, it just doesn't mix well with other lipsticks, and you have this like patchy, ugly mess. I need to get rid of it. Blech. Next up, I got this Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip, and it was in the shade Polished, I believe. This was in collaboration with Karrueche, I believe that's how you say it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful bronze shade, but it's just too dark for my skin tone, and it's metallic. So unless I'm going to a club, which I don't go to clubs anymore because like I'm busy and I like sleep. So I find that this one is just too dark for my skin tone. And as beautiful as it is, I think I would rather have it as an eyeshadow color than a lip color. And that's that. Here is an Ofra long-lasting liquid lipstick in the shade Verona. I absolutely love this color, and Ofra liquid lipsticks are such a comfortable formula. I'm not sure if it's just this shade because I don't own any other Ofra lipsticks, but this one is beautiful once it goes on, but then I feel as if throughout the day as it dries, it gets darker, and then it's too dark for my skin tone, in my opinion. But so I'm going to pass this along, and I know exactly the person I'm going to give it to, and they are going to love it. I also have here a Wet n Wild Megaslicks lip gloss in the shade Sun Glaze. And this one I thought was going to be super, super pretty. It's a very iridescent kind of pearly sheen, and I thought it would be a great topper lipstick. However, it doesn't play well with others. It has a really extremely sticky consistency, but in the worst possible way. For instance, when you put it on, it gets those white lines when it dries. Do you know what I'm talking about? And it kind of just peels after a while. Ugh, not cool, not cool. And it was extremely inexpensive, so I'm not totally sad about it, but nevertheless, it's money wasted. Next up, I have a product by the brand RealHer. And this lipstick is in the shade Deep Mauve. And so it's a really cool packaging, really simplistic, and it's a beautiful mauve shade. And I used quite a bit of it, but I can't get over the way it smells. I think it's gone bad. It smells kind of like a crayon. So what can you do? I'm gonna have to get rid of this. Now I have an Urban Decay Vice waterproof long-lasting liquid lipstick in the shade Amulet. And this one is absolutely beautiful. But I find that I cannot reapply it beautifully. Can I explain myself? So when I put this on, it's really nice. But after a while, it starts to fade in the middle. And then when I go to reapply it, it just gets all crumbly. And obviously, you know, I could just take it off completely and then put it back on. But if I'm going to the bathroom really quickly and I want to quickly reapply a lipstick, why would I go through all the trouble to do that? The shade is beautiful, but I don't like the formula for that reason. It's not worth it to me. Next up, I have the Bite Beauty Cashmere Lip Cream in Crianza. I believe that's what the shade is called. And this is a really beautiful color, but I got this at, I want to say it was TJ Maxx or Marshall's. And so, I mean, sometimes, yeah, their products are already old, and I've heard it through the grapevine that Bite Beauty products, because they have all natural ingredients in them, that they tend to go bad very quickly. And this one, I don't know if you can see, but it's already separating in the tube, and it just looks really disgusting. And it doesn't smell off because it never really had a scent anyway, from what I can remember. I could be wrong. I have a really bad memory. But I don't trust to put it on my lips, so I'm gonna get rid of it. All right, we're nearly done. Hang in there. So I have here a CoverGirl lipstick, and I will put in the description box what kind, because the sticker is off and I don't see where it says the specific type of lipstick. Anyway, it is in the shade 305 Hot Passion. And I really like this color. It's kind of like a fire engine red. But I find that I have a lot of colors similar to this. And this formula is kind of more balmy type feeling. So with a red lipstick, I want something more that'll set rather than move around. You know, with a dark color, it's just, you can't chance that having it in your teeth or around your chin. It's just not a good look. So last lipstick, we made it. Last lipstick, we have this Bite a Mouge Bouge lipstick in Beetroot. I was so excited to get this in. I think it was a Sephora favorites again. I obviously like those very much. And the color is absolutely beautiful. It's a really deep kind of burgundy color. But I mean, if you can see, this thing looks like it has been through so much. The formula is really soft. And so I felt like every time I would try to put it on, it would just bend. And it just felt like, see those? That's from it pushing up against the bullet here. And I couldn't deal with it. Maybe it's just the small version of this. Like, this is the deluxe sample that came in that Sephora favorites kit. Maybe it's just the small one that does that. Like, it feels like it's going to break really easily, but especially with the deep dark color, I can't. I don't want to. I have plenty of other lipsticks that I really like, so I'm not gonna waste my time on that. Oh, I forgot to mention this little tiny nugget. This is the Benefit the Professional Pearl Primer. I like the original Professional Primer, but this one was just, I hated the fact that it just made my skin look oily. It didn't hold up my makeup, and I wanted to try to use it up because, I mean, it's itty bitty, but it just wasn't doing it for me, and I just need to cut ties and just let it go. So lastly, we have two eyeshadow palettes that I want to declutter. I hate decluttering eyeshadow palettes because I love eyeshadow palettes, but I've come to the conclusion that if it doesn't make me happy when I'm using it, if I'm not excited to pick it up that day and, you know, put it on my eyeballs, then what the hell is it doing in my collection, you know? So heartbreakingly, I'm going to get rid of the Melissa Michelle Ulta Beauty collaboration. And this was from last year. Here she is on the back. She's so beautiful. And she seems really down to earth. I remember watching the video of her introducing this to the world, and she was so excited, and it was a really beautiful thing. And I even liked this palette enough after I bought it for myself. I bought it for my sisters for Christmas. So I really like it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's been through a lot. See those little nail markings in there? That's from my 2-year-old. Yeah, she liked it too apparently. But I had to actually repress this shade right here called Teresita. And it's absolutely beautiful. So that's why I repressed it, because I wanted to keep using it after my child dug into it like there was no tomorrow. She was a savage. I mean, as you can see, you know, it's a really beautiful neutral palette. And it comes with a highlight and a blush and a lip gloss that I never opened because in everyone's reviews, they said that it was really sticky. And I figured I could give it away, but it just kind of stood in here and just kind of collected dust. Whoops. And then this one was so hard for me. So this is the Smashbox Art Love Color Masterclass palette. And it seems, I don't know if it's every year, it seems like every year that Smashbox comes out with these, and I have a few other ones. So I didn't want to get rid of this one, you know, for the collector purpose, but it's just not doing it for me. And as amazing as this packaging is, I just don't love to use it. Not because of the quality or whatnot, but just because I have so many other palettes, and I can keep saying that over and over again. I'll stop, I promise, but I think it can get more love elsewhere. So here you have like cheek shades and eyeshadows, and it's absolutely such a cool palette, but I don't need it, and it needs to be loved on. It needs attention. But so those are what I'm going to painstakingly get rid of. But you know, it feels good. It feels good to get those products out and decluttered and away so that I don't have to think about them, I don't have to fuss with them, and then I can just look forward to using up what I have already and what I love to be using on an everyday basis. So that's gonna wrap up the video, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this video wasn't too long, and I hope you are having an awesome day. And if anything, just remember to be kind and stay awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.